reactors. And I have no doubt that we'll be ready to discuss this issue with India and to supply these technologies to our Indian friends.
Thank you. And now, please, Mr. Rishab Gulati, your questions.
Mr. Peskov, thank you very much. We're all looking forward to President Putin's visit and welcoming him here in India. As you are aware, India's national capital has had one of its worst terror attacks in more than a decade. Would Russia support India in the event of India taking any action against terrorist bases in Pakistan? And the second question, you mentioned free of those who are trying to interfere with international trade. What is the role of the rupee, ruble, and the yuan in international trade as you see it in the years to come? Thank you.
Well, we strongly condemn terrorism, whatever form of this terrorism and whatever source of this terrorism is. Our country has suffered a lot from the hands of terrorists. And we know the pain of losing people because of acts of terror. And we remember and will be always remembering this pain. And we know that India has faced this threat numerous times, and we stay together with people of India, and we do condemn terrorism. And of course, we think that the only way to combat terrorism is to have an international cooperation. Unfortunately, the divisions that we have now with the European countries limit this possibility for us, but those possibilities are open in alternative directions, like India, like other countries in the east of Russia. So we'll be ready to cooperate with our Indian friends in combating terror. This is number one. And what was number two? I beg your pardon.
The rupee, ruble, and yuan
yes,
as alternate trade currencies.
Yeah. So the share of dollar is decreasing in global trade. The share of American dollar is decreasing, and the share of national currencies is growing. It's not a fast tendency, but it's a very sure tendency and will continue for coming years. This is our understanding. For example, we prefer to use as much for national currencies in doing trade with our partners as possible. Why? Because we don't like US dollar? No. Because we're deprived of a right to use US dollar. So they simply banned US dollar for our country. So what is our next step? To increase the national currency value. And we're doing that, and it's quite successful. And we found the reciprocal interest in our partners while doing trade. So this share is growing. The share of American dollar is dropping. This is the reality. Now I would say it's quite a humble tendency, but it seems to be very, very stable, and it will continue, and the tempo of this tendency will continue to be faster.
I just want to add that Rishab Gulati, editor-in-chief, News X TV. You forgot to represent. Так, Dipanjan, please, Economic Times.
Good afternoon.
Chaudhary,
Yeah.
yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Peskov. My name is Dipanjan. I write on Foreign Affairs for Economic Times. What
Right me.
What is the message or that you, the Russian government, would like to give to the Indian investors who have been quite wary of the sanctions, not just in 22, but even before, after the Crimea, to explore the Russian market in terms of investments and trade? How can they learn from some other countries, including in Europe or some elsewhere, to explore the Russian market? And B, during the visit, will there be an effort to link the SFPS with the Indian messaging system? And will there be a discussion on that? Thank you.
We are interested in foreign investments. Russia is continuing to be an open country for foreign investments, and we are ready to create the most favorable conditions for investments coming from abroad and from India as well. We are facing now difficulties because of those sanctions, as you have mentioned. But Indian business, like business of lots and lots of countries, is still demonstrating a great interest towards our economy. And Indian businessmen are still on the Russian market. And they are continuing their presence on Russian market despite all the sanctions. We never give any details not to harm the interests of those businessmen. But they're continuing to work here, and they're continuing to benefit from their presence here. They're earning money, and they're earning good money. So Russian market can be very interesting for Indian businessmen and for Indian investors. We have to work in order to, as I have mentioned before, in order to create a system that will minimize a possibility of interference from third countries. And you have mentioned the system of exchange between banks. The various methods of payments between two countries will be on the agenda. We understandably we will not be able to speak on that. We will not be able to make it public because of the reasons that you would probably understand. But we are continuing to work on that. We are continuing to think together how we have to create a really bilateral systems or multilateral systems that could constitute an alternative for the systems that can be used as a political tool in order to make a pressure over desired countries. So because if a payment system is being used as a political tool or as a tool of pressure, political pressure, you have to create something new that will be free of political pressure, that will bring additional benefits to countries that use this system. This will be the case for our joint efforts.
Thank you. Abhishek Kapoor, yes? I am correct. Republic TV, yes.
Good afternoon from here, Mr. Peskov. This is Abhishek Kapoor from Republic TV. You mentioned that the visit is also going to make global headlines. And on the issue of tariffs, you said that it's a bilateral issue between India and the United States, but the fact of the matter is India has withstood the pressure and continued to assist Russia. The fact that Prime Minister Modi had that very warm meeting with President Putin in Tianjin on the sidelines of the SCO summit, you think that with this state visit, Prime Minister Modi and India both are making a bold statement of standing with Russia and withstanding all these geopolitical pressures and helping Russia come out of relative isolation?
Well, I think that India is continuing to do what is beneficial for it. And India is continuing to exercise its sovereignty. in conducting international affairs. We have a historic relationship between our two countries, and they have always been mutually beneficial. Relationship between two countries, if they are not mutually beneficial, cannot be long-lasting. But our relationship has a very, very long history, and we hope that they have a very bright future. You can have tariffs from one side, but at the same time you can have benefits from the other side that are much more attractive than those tariffs. It depends on the approach. It depends on the approach, and we hope that unless our cooperation brings benefits for India, and unless our cooperation brings benefits to us, we'll continue this cooperation despite all the pressure coming from abroad.
Thank you. Devender, please. Yes, only tell your name, please. Name and
Sure, it's Devendra Rawat from DD News, the national broadcaster. So you mentioned BrahMos missile in your opening statement, sir. I would like to have, would you share your perspective, sir, regarding a critical jet engine technology transfer, sir, with joint, is there any plans of joint ventures regarding jet engine production in India, sir, because it's a very critical technology India really needs at this point of time, sir?
I beg your pardon, which technologies you have mentioned?
Sir, jet engine, sir. Because
jet engine,
yeah,
jet
sir.
engine. Well, there are negotiations. We are transferring certain technologies, a great deal of technologies. We're really transferring. So it's not only buying and selling, and as I have mentioned, we are launching joint productions on Indian territory, and we'll continue this road. Well, you can understand that there are certain technologies that cannot be transferred, but of course we'll be ready to share whatever can be shared with India will be shared. We're interested in that, and we know that our Indian partners are interested in that as well.
Thank you. Friends, I'm feeling a little guilty, but I think Mr. Peskov has time to answer some more and more questions, yes, because it's difficult for me to choose whom to ask because you're all dear to me. So anyway, the Hindu, Kalol Baterjee, please.
Good afternoon, Mr. Peskov. There are reports that major Indian buyers like Reliance have actually halted import of Russian crude oil. Do you think that is a matter of concern, of immediate concern for you? And secondly, the Taliban administration in Kabul have been saying that they have received diplomatic recognition from Russia. I would seek a clarification from your side on that. About what sort of recognition have you bestowed on the Taliban administration of Afghanistan? Thank you.
So we're building up our relationship with Afghanistan. We understand that we have our vis-a-vis there, our counterparts there, and we have to discuss with them problems of the region. We have our joint interests in the region, as I have said already, and we'll continue to develop our relationship with Afghanistan. Secondly, some companies are slowing down the purchase. Some companies are enlarging the purchase. The system is very flexible, and it responds to additional pressure from third countries very vividly and in a very sophisticated way.
The answer is finished. We can just ask another question. Okay, and now Shivam Patel, a writer correspondent here in Delhi, please.
Hello, Mr. Peskov. My name is Shivam Patel. I'm a correspondent at Reuters News in Delhi. My question really is, if you could just expand. You spoke earlier about, there could be brief period of decreases in oil trade. So what exactly are we looking at to sort of increase the oil trade between Russia and India? What kind of systems that are we trying to create that will facilitate? Would that include, payments in rupees for oil? And if you could just expand on the defense offering that you have, that President Putin will have when he comes here.
So we're looking forward for possibilities, despite everything, to ensure our right of selling oil and to ensure a right of those who want to purchase oil to ensure the right to buy our oil. So, and we are working on creating a necessary environment for ensuring these rights. This is what I can tell you. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Vishal Pandey, foreign, yes, ABP TV group.
From ABP News. Yeah. Thank you, sir. I'm Vishal Pandey from ABP News. My question is, why is the lasting peace agreement not being reached between Russia and Ukraine yet? Where is the issue getting stuck? And do you think, is the US mediation failing now?
US mediation is very effective, and we hope that US mediation will have success. And we are ready to contribute in that because we are interested in peace. We want peace. Why we are not doing an immediate peace agreement? It's very complicated. There were initial reasons for our president to take a decision to start special military operation. And first, we have to make an agreement in order to eliminate those reasons, in order to secure those initial reasons. So, what is going to happen to Ukraine in future? Is Ukraine going to continue to seek a NATO membership? We are against, because it will be a danger for our country. Is Ukraine going to seek the deployment of foreign forces or NATO forces on its territory next to our borders? No, we're against. And there are lots and lots of other questions to be tackled during the peace negotiations. So it's a very complicated thing. First, we have to establish a framework of approach. So a Trump plan is a very good background for that, and we do hope that we will be able to follow this background.
Giant Jacob.
Maybe another two questions, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.
Only two?
Well, unfortunately, we have quite a busy agenda here. So
anyway,
we have to continue. We have to continue our preparations for a state visit of President Putin to India.
Yes, but
this is priority number one.
Yes, I think everybody agrees that this is priority number one. Anyway, we are going to miss you. We are going to miss your questions, but I'm not eating the time. So please, the question, yes.
Yeah, hi, Jayanto Roy Chaudhary from UNI. I've taken away the mic from Jayan Jacob, my former colleague. India lives in a very volatile and tough neighborhood. There have been Gen Z revolts, imprisonment of prime ministers. Can Russia help India in stabilizing the region, and how can it do so? You have signed a reloss agreement. I know your ships will be coming here. We will exchange military logistics, but can you help in stabilizing the region?
Well, we actually, altogether, we have to work on stabilizing the world, because the whole world, not only this region, is unpredictable and very fragile. So we have nearly ruined rule of law in the world. We have ruined trade rules. We have ruined WTO norms and rules. We have a problem of efficiency of international organizations. We have a growing multipolar world. Something new is about to come to this world, and we will be a part of this new world. And what we share is our joint vision of this future, of this multipolar world. Russia is always standing with its friends, and Russia is standing together with India. And we have our own bilateral relations with your neighbors. And while exercising those fruitful relationships, we are ready to do whatever is possible and whatever we can in order to contribute to an atmosphere of peace, predictability, and stability in your region and in our region.
So, one more question, yes or two?
Yes, please.
Okay. Sidhant Sibal, News 18.
I'm from WION.
Oh, from WION. Sorry.
No problem.
My bad.
Hi, sir. I'm Siddhant from WION. My question to you is on connectivity. There is the Chabhar port project. There is the Chennai Vladivostok project as well. How do you see the connectivity projects between two countries taking off, especially on the use of the Chabhar port?
Well, Chennai Vladivostok is highly on the agenda. It's one of the projects of priority, and it is being discussed. It is being accepted as a very, very profitable route of transportation. And the port that you have mentioned is also, I have seen its name on different papers. So we're discussing those routes. And both sides are interested, and I have no doubt that we'll be able to make success in implementing those projects.
And one last.
Okay, one last.
Last question.
Okay,
which I
please.
like me. India to the ladies first. Yes.
I'm Vijayalakshmi from India TV. Good afternoon, Mr. Peskov. I just wanted to know, is there going to be an agreement on labor mobility between India and Russia? And if it happens, do you think it's going to further enhance the people-to-people connect between the two countries?
This agreement is under discussion. We hope that there will be a progress during the visit. Relative ministers in both countries are conducting negotiations. This is an issue of great importance for us, and believe me, we're showing due interest to this issue.
Thank you, Mr. Peskov.
So, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank you all. I hope it was not that boring for you. Of course, once in a while we'll continue our dialogue. If it is of interest for you, just use Olga Daicheva and her colleagues. Let us know, and we'll be at your disposal every time you need us. Thank you so much.
Mr. Peskov, 1 minute, because we want, I think, from the name of all of you, personally from me, personally from my organization, Sputnik News Agency. So I would like to extend our sincere thanks for you, for your time, for your insights, because we all know how tough schedule you have, and that you have, you just find time to spend with us, to answer our questions. But you see, these my colleagues, journalists, with whom I am permanently, constantly in touch, and I know how all of them are looking to communicate with you, to ask you a question, or even to listen to you, and showing keen interest in receive your introduction. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, really. And let's hope this is the second such meeting. Let's hope for next one. Okay?
I have no doubt for
thank
that.
you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you. Goodbye.
Peskov.
Goodbye.
Thank you. With us news that Mr. Putin's visit would be 2025. And as you see, we are expecting the official visit of President Mr. Putin and summit between Mr. Putin and Mr. Modi just in 2 days. So that's why Sputnik, we decide to continue this good tradition. Maybe, if Mr. Peskov agrees with us, maybe every November we are going to organize such kind of interaction to sum up the passing year. So, let me tell about the format of the event. The format is very simple. Mr. Peskov, yes, you will begin with a briefing. If time allows, we will then take questions from our colleagues in the Indian media present here today. So, let's start. Mr. Peskov, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor for me to have you here, and I want to thank you sincerely for taking your time and joining in this humble presentation. We are looking forward for a state visit of President Putin to India, and the day after tomorrow, actually, our president is going to fly to your country. That we consider to be our great friend, and people of India are great friends of us, historically. So really, I don't want to bore you, so that's why I'll try to make my presentation very brief, and then we'll rather spend more time answering your questions, should you have some. Russia and Indian relationship is not just a standard set of diplomatic protocols and trade agreements. It's more of that. It's much more important. Our bilateral relationship rests on a deep historic background of mutual understanding, of partnership, and a mutual vision of global affairs and system of global affairs based on international law, on rule of law, and the ability of taking into account each other's interests. This is a very, very important characteristic of our joint vision of the global affairs. We're proud to have been shoulder to shoulder next to our Indian friends during their historic growth in the most important moments of their history. And at the same time, we are very grateful to India for a very friendly stand nowadays. A very friendly stand towards our country and towards our interaction on in bilateral and global affairs. So this background of our bilateral relations gives us a very wide perspective of developing bilateral cooperation in various fields. So let's start with the strategic interaction of our two countries, and also cooperation in the defense industry. Those are very sensitive areas, and cooperation in these sensitive areas can be hardly overestimated. We are in very close dialogue with our Indian friends on international affairs on the basis of United Nations. We are exchanging our views, finding that they really correspond in majority of fields. So our cooperation in defense industry, let's remember famous BrahMos missiles. So it's not only just production, or it's not only acts of buying or selling. It's exchange of high technologies, exchange of know-hows, and it really paves the way for a bright future in this field of cooperation. So we're developing quite a variety of very complicated systems, and in this sense, of course, we have a very important capabilities, so we are experts in certain fields, and our expertise has grown through last couple of years, and we're ready to share with our Indian friends our experience. I think that this experience is of real value for our Indian friends. So, energy security. Energy security, Russia continues to be a very important supplier of energy sources to India on a competitive prices. And we have no doubt that this trade is of a great benefit for India, and at the same time of mutual benefit. So we exchange mutual investments, joint investments in this field, and it makes this kind of cooperation even more valuable for our countries in terms for securing future of this cooperation. We're deeply involved in creating a sector of peaceful nuclear energy in India, this famous Kudam, and so we're hoping for continuation of these projects. Of course, it creates a separate industry sector in India. We're taking part in preparing personnel for those stations, in educating them, in supplying India with technologies, and so on and so forth. So all this is really mutually beneficial. So what is important that we have managed to ensure the growth of our trade volume for more than $63 billion. It's overall trade volume. It's quite significant, but the potential is much more higher. And we do hope that before 2030, we'll be able to reach a horizon of $100 billion. And what is very important, we have to organize our trade volume and our trade interaction in the way that cannot be affected by third countries. So the whole volume of our trade relations is being paid by in national currencies. This is very important. This is very important because thus we're securing our trade, we're securing our sovereignty of both countries, Russia and India, and we're securing our trade cooperation. We know that there are some countries, there are some unities that would try to put obstacles on the way of further development of our trade. So let's stick to our own interests. This is our approach. This is our approach, and we hope and we're sure that India is sharing this approach. So we are cooperating in various fields of economy. High technologies, I have mentioned them, also peaceful high technologies, pharmaceuticals. We have lots of investments coming to our country from this sector. So transport routes, it's north-south transport communication route that will actually open possibilities for transportations of millions and millions of tons on this route, and it will bring additional benefits to both to Russia and to India. So humanitarian and scientific cooperation is also a very important characteristic of our bilateral relations. Thousands and thousands of students from India are receiving their education in our country, and we are ready, to create all and best possible conditions for the eradication here in the Russian Federation. Scientific cooperation is also a great important cultural cooperation. You know, Indian culture is very popular in Russia, and we hope that you have reciprocal feelings from that sense to culture of my country. So it's really India for us is a great partner, and we do hope that the visit of President Putin will be successful. As successful was the visit of Prime Minister Modi 1 year ago to Moscow. President and Prime Minister had a very good possibility to spend lots of hours together discussing the most sensitive issues of the global and regional agenda. We hope that this will be the case for New Delhi meeting the day after tomorrow. There will be a very significant set of documents ready for signature during the visit. So we're looking forward for a great success. And of course, we're looking forward for press in both countries, in my country and in India, to cover this visit as wide as possible. Although we don't have, we're sure that this visit will be covered globally, because everything that is interconnected with Russian-Indian relationship is a matter of great attention all over the world. So this is all that I wanted to share with you for the beginning. I'd rather answer your questions. Please, you're welcome. Thank you. So who's going? Ms. Dito, are you going to moderate? I think you have to press a button, probably, because I cannot hear you well.
I'm lucky. Mr. Peskov, I am lucky. So, being the host of this event, so friends, no hard feelings. I'm giving the word to Krishna Mohan Mishra, Sputnik. Yes.
Good morning, Mr. Peskov. I'm Krishna Mishra, working with Sputnik India. You spoke about trade between two countries and some pressures also. The United States has imposed tariffs on India for its purchase of Russian oil. Will this issue be a point of discussion during President Putin's meet with Prime Minister Modi? And how India and Russia going to address this external pressure?
Well, tariffs between India and the United States is rather a question of bilateral relations between India and the United States. What concerns us is the way we're going to continue and enlarge the volume of our bilateral business with India, not letting anyone interfere in that. And this will be definitely discussed.
So, friends, Mr. Mohan, everything is okay? You're content? Okay. So let's just establish the rules. You raise the hands, your name and your organization, correct? So, Mr. Vijay Joshi, Editor-in-Chief, PTI News Agency.
Thank you. Mr. Peskov, thank you so much for that really comprehensive encapsulation of the India-Russia relationship. You spoke about energy security and also trade between India and Russia. It's a thriving trade. You mentioned $68 billion or so is the total trade, but it is heavily in favor of Russia. About $64 billion of imports from Russia come to India, and only about less than $5 billion go from India to Russia. That's likely to come up in the summit. Is Russia aware of those concerns, and is Russia willing to do more to increase the market access for Indian goods? And secondly, on the energy, on the oil, There have been sanctions, United States sanctions on Russian oil productions. How has that affected Russian oil production? And have you noticed any noticeable drop in oil trade with the top 3 buyers, which are Russia, India, and Turkey? Thank you.
Thank you. That's a very good question. Well, there is a real disbalance in our trade, and you're totally right. And we are aware of that. We're selling much more than we buy from India. And we know that our Indian friends are concerned about that, and that and by the way, we're jointly looking for possibilities of increasing imports from India to Russia. So we want to buy more from India. And during the visit of the president, of our president, actually, even I think one day prior to the visit, there will be a congress, a forum of importers. So, and this will be an event in order to pursuing a goal to discuss the possibilities of increasing imports from India to Russia. So businessmen from both countries will be meeting together, and they will be searching for goods, for services, for investments, for other trade ways of trade, in order to ensure that Russia can buy more from India. So we know about this problem, and we know about concerns of India in that sense. I have no doubt that this question will be raised by our Indian friends during the visit. And so just be sure that we are working together. We're working together with our Indian counterparts in order to find ways to increase the amount of goods that we can purchase from India. Not only goods, but maybe services, and so on and so forth. So this is number one. Number two, yes, there are sanctions against Russian companies, against against the sector of oil production, I would say. But nonetheless, we're finding ways. We're finding ways not to let the volumes of trade down. There can be, for a very brief time, there can be insignificant drops and decreases in the volume of trade, of oil trade. But by the way, we consider those sanctions to be illegal from the point of view of international law. The only sanction can be considered legal when it is approved by United Nations Security Council. Unless it is not, it is illegal. So all these limitations, we do not accept them, and so we're doing our best to ensure that we continue our trade, and by the way, to ensure that our purchases enjoy possibility of guaranteed supplies of oil and oil products. And we're managing that quite successful. We have a deep experience in performing under regime of these illegal sanctions. We have our own technologies in doing that, and of course we'll continue to make those technologies more sophisticated should this practice of sanctions continue.
Thank you. And now, just one moment. Rachingappa, please, Mr. Rachingappa, Group Editorial Director, India Today.
Mr. Peskov, good afternoon. Raj Chengappa of India Today. On the Ukraine war, India has consistently avoided condemning Russia while also reiterating the importance of sovereignty and territorial integrity and calling for diplomacy and saying this is not an era of war. Is Moscow comfortable with this position, or does it privately expect more explicit political support from Delhi? And secondly, you're in negotiations with the Americans for a settlement of this war. How close are you all to it? I have a question on China. How does Russia respond to India's concerns about the deepening Russia-China no-limits partnership? Can Moscow give any assurance, even privately, that in an India-China crisis, it would not tilt decisively towards Beijing?
So, first of all, Ukrainian war. We do appreciate the position and the stand of India vis-à-vis Ukrainian settlement and Ukrainian affair. We do appreciate the readiness of New Delhi to contribute to a search of peaceful solution in this very complicated conflict. And we do respect the position of Prime Minister Modi, and we do respect the possibility of exchanging information from the first hands between himself and our president, and we hope that this practice will continue. We highly appreciate that, and what we like is that Prime Minister Modi and our Indian counterparts, they want to listen to our position from the first hands. They want to understand their position, and it gives us a possibility to explain ourselves. And this ensures the mutual understanding. This is of very great importance. Well, for example, we do not speak with Europeans. We don't have a dialogue, even a word. So how can you learn your counterpart's position on a so, well, terribly complicated problem when you don't speak to each other? This is the greatest problem that we have. But with India, it's vice versa. India wants to listen to us. We want to explain ourselves. India hears us, and it's a mutual understanding. So we do appreciate it. Our relationship with China. China is also our privileged strategic partner. And we enjoy a very, very high level of cooperation with China in various fields, like with India. And yes, it's our readiness to enhance, to develop our cooperation with China in various fields without no limits. But the same stand we have with India. We are ready to go as far as India is ready. And we're ready to develop our cooperation in every possible field as far as India is ready. We respect bilateral relationship between India and China. And we have no doubt that two oldest countries, two wisest countries in this world, be as wise as to settle down all the problems without them in order to keep global stability, global predictability, and global peace and regional peace. And as Russia will be continuing to develop our friendship with India and with China. Thank you. Don't forget to push the button.
No, the button is on.
If it's not a red
yes,
button.
I'm just considering to give the possibility. This is third question.
No. It was a question that Mr. Peskov had asked about the American negotiations to settle the Ukraine war.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry about that. I missed that part. So it's 10 minutes to noon in Moscow, and approximately in 5 hours, a meeting between Mr. Witkoff, who is going to be here in Moscow, with President Putin will start. Mr. Witkoff will be in Moscow, a chief negotiator with us, and he will be meeting our president. Before that, they had a couple of weeks of a very intensive work with the Ukrainian side, preparing, let's say, a version of a Trump plan of settlement. We highly appreciate peaceful efforts of American administration in order to pave a way for solution of Ukrainian crisis through political and diplomatic means. This is of great importance to us because Russia is continuing to be open for peaceful negotiations. But through peaceful negotiations and with the help of peaceful negotiations, we have to reach our goals. We have to reach our goals and we have to get rid of initial reasons of the military operation that we have started. So we'll see now. We'll see the plan. President Putin and Mr. Witkoff will have a possibility to discuss those understandings that have been reached between Kiev and Washington on the way of settlement searches. So this will be, we have no doubt, this will be a very important step towards peaceful solution. But of course, 5 hours prior to these negotiations, I can hardly say something more in details. So we continue to be open for peaceful negotiations. We highly appreciate efforts of President Trump and his administration. And we want to solve problems of our security for coming generations, and we want to secure a future architecture of European security for coming generations. This is of great importance for us, and also to solve other reasons that were on the agenda before the operation started.
Thank you, Mr.
I don't know
Peskov.
if you are satisfied with that.
Yes, one moment. So, please, Mr. Navin Kumar, ANI, the main one of the main agencies in India.
Sir, I'm Naveen Kapoor from ANI. Actually, sir, my question are two parts. In your opening remarks, you said that you are going to create a mechanism in which third countries could not affect our businesses. Sir, India is facing highest tariff from US, primarily because of buying Russian oil. And India has taken a position on this. Firstly, how do you look at Indian position so far on this? And second part, a different issue, sir. India has started re-engagement with Afghanistan. What is your view on that, sir?
India has started what? I beg your pardon.
India has re-engaged with Afghanistan.
Oh, yes.
We were cut off in a way diplomatically, but we have started negotiations and diplomacy again with Afghanistan. What is Russia's position on that, sir?
Yes. So we have mentioned the issue of tariffs already. It's rather a question of bilateral relationship between India and the United States. We cannot interfere in that. And we don't have the slightest intention in doing that. And we understand that there is a pressure. There is a pressure over India. Actually, this is the reason that we have to be very careful in creating an architecture of our relationship that must be free of any influence coming from third countries. We have to secure our relationship. We have to secure our trade that brings mutual benefit. So trade can be only beneficial for both sides. And if we earn from this bilateral trade, we have to continue it. But we have to secure it from pressure from abroad. So it's a complicated issue, but there are certain experiences in that field. And we have to continue. We know that India is a very sovereign country. India is very sovereign in defending its national interests. And we do admire this characteristic of India. And our country is also sovereign. And we're also very sensitive on this right of sovereignty. And we are very sensitive on not letting anyone interfering in our benefits, interfering in our national interests. Afghanistan, yes, I beg your pardon, Afghanistan. So we do have our own restart and relationship with Afghanistan. So we have a de facto government in Afghanistan. It's an important country in the region. It's a neighboring country for ex-Soviet area. It's a country neighboring Tajikistan. By the way, our border guards are staying there, are located there, deployed there. So that's why we have to have a dialogue with Afghanistan, and we have a total understanding for India in that sense.
Thank you. Friends, Ranjuna Sharma, head of News Russia Today. I think we can congratulate you, Ranjuna. You are opening your operations on December 5?
That's correct. Thank you, Olga. Synonymous to Mr. Putin's visit.
So your question, please.
Mr. Peskov, I'm Ranjun Sharma, head of News RT India. There's a lot of anticipation when it comes to Mr. Putin's visit to India, and India really needs some S-400s. Could we see Mr. Putin bring in some of that? Will that be synonymous to his visit?
This issue is highly on the agenda, and I have no doubt it will be discussed during the visit. President Putin is coming with a very wide delegation. We will have certain members of delegation that will be able to discuss this issue in details. I have no doubt it will be mentioned also on the highest level. The only thing I will say that our military industry is working pretty well. And during the last 4 years, we have managed to enlarge the volumes of production the way that we can not only satisfy the needs of our military forces during their military operation in Ukraine, but we also can allow continuation of export operations. Of course, this will be also the case for India. We're interested in continuation of cooperation in this very sensitive field, and hopefully we'll continue to do that. Also, for the benefits of India. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, the share of Russian, as we call it, special equipment, Russian arms. The share of Russian arms in the military forces of India is about 36%. It's quite a big digit. And hopefully we'll continue, and not only continue, but also enlarge the cooperation in this field. Thank you.
Thank you. And Manish Jha, editor, TV9, yes? Am I correct?
Yes.
One more time, repeat your designation and name, please.
Thank you, Olga. Привет, Mr. Peskov. This is Manish Jha. I'm the executive editor of TV9 News Network. I have two small questions. The first is related to Su-57. There are a lot of discussion about the Su-57 fighter jet. I would like to know that whether Russia has given in...
I beg your pardon, I could hardly understand.
Sukhoi 57.
Sukhoi 57, yes.
So I would like to know that whether Russia has given any kind of offer to India regarding Su-57, because Trump wants from India that India should purchase F-35. India already purchased Rafale, and then we have already lots of Sukhoi version. So I would like to know about Su-57. And another question is that in India, we have a concern about the statement made by the NATO military chief that NATO is considering for preemptive strike. How do you see that? Because it seems like that the Europe is eagerly wants to start a fight.
So, Su-57s, best plane in the world. Yes, it's not over-exaggeration. It's the best plane in the world. And the issue of Su-57s certainly will be on the agenda during the coming visit. So let's not speak about the details. There are lots of competitors in the world, and some of the competitors are not, let's say, sticking their business to international law. So sometimes they can do bad things in order to make unjust competition. But we're standing for just competition, and in just competition, someone can hardly compete with us in this field. So NATO and Europe and their eagerness of doing war. Yes, unfortunately, we're facing that. Europe is speaking only about war, and even now, when Trump administration is spending tremendous efforts in order to pave a way for peaceful negotiations, and when Russia is continuing to be open for peace negotiations, European countries are speaking about war. European countries are speaking about doing war till the last Ukrainian. They are trying to find a way to ensure financing of Ukraine to continue the battle. They are discussing a possibility of stealing Russian assets that are blocked in Europe. It's more than $200 billion. It is illegal block, but now they want to steal this money and use this money for supplying the war machine of Kiev regime. There are some sober heads in Europe, like Belgians. They say that you have to guarantee us that when Russians go to court, to international court, and when they demand this money back, we'll be paying off it together. So there are some clever guys there, but the rest of the people in Europe, they're trying to just to steal our money. So unfortunately, they are eager to continue confrontation. They say that they are afraid of Russia. They say that Russia is a danger for Europe, but it is nonsense. And in our view, they're just trying to shift the attention of their taxpayers and to shift the attention of their electorate from domestic problems to so-called threat coming from Russia. During the history, it happened a number of times, but this is not true. This is not true. Russia is standing for peace. Russia is looking for peace, but Russia wants its concerns to be taken into account. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Madan Jaira.
Sir, I am Madan Jada from Hindustan newspaper. My question is regarding nuclear energy possible agreement. Actually, you know, India is expanding its nuclear energy sector, and we also open the door for private sector. And our policy, also some policy changes, like we are shifting from big reactor to small reactor. And my specific question is, could Russia help India to setting up small modular reactor, SMR, which technology Russia have?
The question is, the answer is yes. The answer is yes, and Mr. Lihatov, Chief Executive of Rosatom, will be joining the President during his visit, and he will be carrying an offer for this small reactor in his bag. And this offer will be on the table of negotiations. Russia possesses these very important technologies of small and very flexible nuclear reactors, which are of great interest in lots of countries nowadays. It's a very popular issue of discussion. Russia has an experience, a real experience in producing those small reactors, and I have no doubt that we'll be ready to discuss this issue with India and to supply these technologies to our Indian friends.
Thank you. And now, please, Mr. Rishab Gulati, your questions.
Mr. Peskov, thank you very much. We're all looking forward to President Putin's visit and welcoming him in here in India. As you are aware, India's national capital has had one of its worst terror attacks in more than a decade. Would Russia support India in the event of India taking any action against terrorist bases in Pakistan? And a second question, you mentioned free of those who are trying to interfere with international trade. What is the role of the rupee, ruble, and the yuan in international trade as you see it in the years to come? Thank you.
Well, we strongly condemn terrorism, whatever form of this terrorism and whatever source of this terrorism is. Our country has suffered a lot from the hands of terrorists. And we know the pain of losing people because of acts of terror. And we remember and will be always remembering this pain. And we know that India has faced this threat numerous times, and we stay together with people of India, and we do condemn terrorism. And of course, we think that the only way to combat terrorism is to have an international cooperation. Unfortunately, the divisions that we have now with the European countries limit this possibility for us, but those possibilities are open in alternative directions, like India, like other countries in the east of Russia. So we'll be ready to cooperate with our Indian friends in combating terror. This is number one. And what was number two? I beg your pardon.
The rupee, ruble, and yuan
yes,
as alternate trade currencies.
Yeah. So the share of dollar is decreasing in global trade. The share of American dollar is decreasing, and the share of national currencies is growing. It's not a fast tendency, but it's a very sure tendency and will continue for coming years. This is our understanding. For example, we prefer to use as much for national currencies in doing trade with our partners as possible. Why? Because we don't like US dollar? No. Because we're deprived of a right to use US dollar. So they simply banned US dollar for our country. So what is our next step? To increase the national currency value. And we're doing that, and it's quite successful. And we found the reciprocal interest in our partners while doing trade. So this share is growing, the share of American dollar is dropping. This is the reality. Now I would say it's a humble, quite a humble tendency, but it seems to be very, very stable, and it will continue, and the tempo of this tendency will continue to be faster.
I just want to add that Rishab Gulati, editor-in-chief, News X TV. You forgot to represent. Так, Dipanjan, please, Economic Times. Dipanjan Chaudhary, yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Peskov. My name is Dipanjan. I write on foreign affairs for Economic Times.
Right, man.
What is the message or that you, the Russian government, would like to give to the Indian investors who have been quite wary of the sanctions, not just in 22, but even before, after the Crimea, to explore the Russian market in terms of investments and trade? How can they learn from some other countries, including in Europe or some elsewhere, to explore the Russian market? And B, during the visit, will there be an effort to link the SFPS with the Indian messaging system? And will there be a discussion on that? Thank you.
We are interested in foreign investments. Russia is continuing to be an open country for foreign investments, and we are ready to create